They'll be facing the white flag this time by not since the Cleveland race in 1995 when Jacques Villeneuve, currently the Formula One World Driving Champion, took Barry Green's team to victory lane. Has another Team Cool Green driver done it? Right now, this man, Dario Franchitti, has a chance. Now, over the rise come Michael Andretti and Alex Zanardi with 4 miles to go to try to catch Franchitti.
Franchitti turned up the wick a little bit that lap. He was only a second off Michael, but Alex Zanardi was almost 2 seconds quicker than Franchitti and a second quicker than Michael Andretti. He's trying to force this issue and get up and see if they can make something happen on this last lap. Remember, it's 4 miles around.
Michael Andretti, huge tire failure, 5th gear, and into the braking zone.
And into the tire wall.
Michael had you hear that?
Yes, we did.
Michael just said, just exactly, top of 6th gear, tire blew, coming down shredded. He hit the right side wall, and now he's in the tires. Obviously, you hear him talking, he's okay, but 2.5 miles to go for a 2nd place podium finish. Right rear tire.
How many times have we seen that on the last lap here at Road America? Al Unser Jr.'s engine letting go back in 1996. Michael Andretti was the beneficiary of that incident.
And Michael's had 2 tires let go this year, one for when he was leading a race and now in 2nd place. The person who's going to benefit from this the most is, of course, Christian Fittipaldi, his teammate. Nothing happens there. Will elevate him up to 3rd place and a podium finish.
Alex Zanardi moves to 2nd, barring any possible action by the officials after this race. But right now, it's all about this man, Dario Franchitti, who takes the checkered flag in 1st place for the first time in his kart career. And a day that began with so much promise for Goodyear and for Ford ends with a Honda Firestone car in victory lane. What they will call him, she said, well, we know we're not going to call him Alex. And there is Dario Franchitti, the fastest Scot in the series since the late Jim Clark. White flag, 1 more lap with his 2nd consecutive victory in Offering. Turn 6 and 7. 7 turns to go for Dario Franchitti. Andretti, Pruitt, and Zanardi remain in that order behind him.
We've seen it a lot with guys like Nigel Mansell. How many F1 races before he won his first one? A lot of times people have said it about Brian Herta. You can say the same about Dario. Once they learn how to win, to get that monkey off their back, it often comes in droves. This team's really clicking. He's been qualifying exceptional all year. Really ran, again, a really smart race today.
The most successful driver for Team Cool Green since Jacques Villeneuve went to the title with them in 1995, winning the Indy 500 along the way. The checkered flags wave. Dario Franchitti picks up career win number 2 at the Molson Indy Vancouver. Michael Andretti 2nd, Scott Pruitt 3rd, and Alex Zanardi in 4th as Chip Ganassi. A huge splash as he makes his way through the final puddle and waddles down the front straightaway after a dramatic inaugural Texaco Grand Prix of Houston. Fists in the air for Dario Franchitti as he accepts the checkered flag. To Jan Beekes.
And Barry Green accepts the congratulations. We're going to try and get in here underneath.
And with Tony Kanaan off the edge of the track at pit out. Gary Gerald, can you update it?
Yeah, we talked with him as he was headed back toward the pits. He just said a tire blew. I don't know if it was the front or the rear, but both of them clearly were down on that right-hand side. And boy, I'm still somewhat surprised that car sets there at the end of pit road the way it does. And they're letting him finish this thing up. White flag.
White flag comes out to the leader, Dario Franchitti. Dario and Paul Tracy have never finished 1 and 2. They may just do it now. Christian Fittipaldi does not appear to be in attack position for Paul Tracy. In fact, Paul seems to be moving a little bit forward. Maybe they're going to try and get a nice formation when they cross the line. Dario Franchitti, should he win it, will be the 8th different winner this year as he works on his final lap. Tracy crossed the line 2.7 seconds behind last time around. be Franchitti, then Tracy, Fittipaldi, Moreno, Pappas, and Fernandez. Those are the top 6 as they came to this final lap. Last driver to lead all of the laps. Yep, Dario Franchitti, Houston last year.
Great job, mate. Awesome job. 1-2. Wonderful. 1-2.
And Team Green has done it. Team Green finishes first and second, Franchitti, and then Paul Tracy. Christian Fittipaldi comes across in third, followed by Moreno, Pappas, and Fernandez.
Had a second a lap initially, then the next lap half a second. We had enough fuel. We thought we were going to turn it up towards the end. So we'll take this one. Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you very much. Great team effort.
Well, so they did do it. There is the win. Dario Franchitti scores the 5th of his career, 2nd of the season. Helio Castroneves stuck with it, made it across the line, and now Franchitti will have 5 points on Montoya as they head off in 1 week to Mid-Ohio. And Castroneves, he comes across the line in 7th place. One quick update. And the note from Dr. Steve.
Well, most of the action, as you said, is behind him.
We're going to apologize for this in advance, owing to the length of the race and the time that we're running. We are not going to be able to interview Dario Franchitti at the end of this run. But it looks like in one lap you will see him win, and you will see the championship go on to California Speedway in Fontana, California, as his battle with Montoya continues, and he will take the points lead to the race at Fontana. There he is, Dario Franchitti, working the last lap.
And the mindset for Dario Franchitti, very different than anyone else in this race. You can see the distance he's giving himself out to the walls, giving himself a few feet. He still has to stay on it, has to stay focused, has to concentrate. If he starts to slip out of concentration now for just a moment, he could throw it all away. But for Max Pappas, Fernandez, and the group behind him, they're all pushing extremely hard.
Cristiano D'Amata comes into the pits. Of course, he has been reporting trouble. Paul Tracy will remain, if he remains in position, in 3rd place in his ongoing battle with Michael Andretti in the points. But Dario Franchitti, who this year the Scotsman has proven to be the master of the temporary street circuits, and this is as tough as they come. In his quest for the championship, he has done everything required to this point, and he will leave here with 9 points over Juan Montoya and with the victory. Max Pappas will now chase him to the line. Here comes Dario Franchitti, and Dario Franchitti takes the win at Surfers Paradise. The Gold Coast is golden for Dario. Max Pappas will scream for the line in 2nd place. 3rd place is Adrian Fernandez, despite the race-long battle. Kanaan is not able to get...
The real question is, how is Dario going to do this last lap and not breathe?
Right now, all he's doing is getting the interval from his spotters. He can see both Max Wilson and Gidley in his mirror here. And he's going to slow down as much as possible to let these guys get up behind him. If Gidley doesn't get a shot at him going down into the chicane on the last lap, if he can't close up this interval, then it's a matter of getting through the chicane and hoping the car doesn't cough, doesn't run out of fuel, headed for the start-finish line. But look at the interval decrease here, coming through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, there mostly was a decrease under braking, though. It goes back to where it was. Wilson separates him. Gidley waits until the last possible second to brake there, working the final turns of the final lap.
Well, there's Wilson. Gidley's got to get this exit exactly right, stand on the throttle, push the overtake button, and now he's got to run up behind. You can see he's closing down on Dario. His only chance will be coming off the chicane, headed for the start-finish line.
It's going to be a difficult place to pass. They'll both swing as wide as they can. Gidley tries to work him. Gidley is there, but Dario Franchitti does it. Dario Franchitti holds him off. The question is, will he make it all the way around the track? Congratulations to Team Green, but you know what? Memo drove one whale of a race. And
great job for starting last.
You had a look at his father, Michel Jourdain Sr. himself, a driver in the Champ cars. There's the gap. One lap to go, white flag.
Last lap right now.
This in from Dr. Steve Olvey, the Director of Medical Affairs for CART. Adrian Fernandez has a large bruise and a contusion on his right hip. He'll be transferred to Vancouver General Hospital for further evaluation, but he appears to be otherwise undamaged, and that's great news. We saw Ashley Judd looking on. Here comes Dario.
And look how close Dario clipped that inside wall in the King. Saw George and Ashley, they're just twitching with tension.
Dario's been frustrated on a few occasions. He had a dominant car on the oval in Chicago earlier this year, but he had some off-form pit stops that cost him a lot of positions on the racetrack. He was very unhappy then, but I think his confidence in Team Green has not wavered. That elusive chemistry between a driver, his engineers, and his mechanics to get the most out of themselves in their car on race day. And on a day filled with dramatic twists and turns, this day will go to Dario Franchitti. His first victory in 2 seasons and his second here in Vancouver, the first coming back in 1998. 19th all-time win for Team Green. Hugs all around. The name just went right out of my head. Patrick Carpentier, and threw it off the road with a mistake in the late laps. He doesn't want to repeat that. White flag for Dario Franchitti, looking for his second of the year. The winner in Vancouver, looking for his second straight Canadian victory in the Kart FedEx Championship Series.
What a drive by Dario. Unbelievable. You know, I was saying, okay, now Cristiano's behind. He's going to put the hammer down. We're going to see what he's got. And Dario matched him lap for lap.
D'Amata took back a 10th on that last lap, but he needs a lot more than that, and it doesn't appear that he'll get it. 6 wins for D'Amata this year. The series record is 8, shared by Michael Andretti and Al Unser Jr. But it looks like it's going to have to be another day for Cristiano D'Amata. Once more through turns 8 and 9. Here comes Paul Tracy, Jimmy Vasser, and Michel Jourdain Jr.
Jimmy's closing up on Paul. About a half a second that lap.
There's Tracy. Jimmy make a lunge at it? Apparently not. On the casino straight for the final time, Dario Franchitti looking for his second victory of the year and a big step up in the championship. After much frustration in the early races of this year, he picks up win number 2 of 2002. Dario Franchitti, your winner. Cristiano D'Amata second, Tony Kanaan third, Paul Tracy fourth, Jimmy Vasser fifth, and Michel Jourdain Jr.
to D'Amata.
6th place. And the white flag is coming out next time by.
And listen, Dario, we heard Oriole lifting in turn 1. Dario is actually flat, I believe, through turn 1.
Right now, Dario's hearing every possible sound in that car, every possible vibration. Going, come on, baby, just make it to the checkered, make it to the checkered. Couple more turns.
In Montreal, he picked up his second victory of the season, his first multi-win season in about 3 years for Dario Franchitti. Today he will add icing on the cake with his third victory of the year, winning the Rockingham 500. His first victory on an oval. Celebrations in the Team Green pits. And congratulations to Dario Franchitti, matching his victories in Montreal and Vancouver. We'll be back live to England in a moment.